What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for MLB Tuesday, May 30th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's MLB slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 13-game MLB slate tonight. So let's take a look at the pitcher position. So I got a couple of pitchers that I like on the slate. The stud pick that I like is Zach Gallen. He's pitching against the Colorado Rockies. Zach Gallen only giving up a .539 OPS to lefties, a .577 OPS to righties, and a .500 OPS to switch hitters. He's facing 3 lefties, 5 righties, and 1 switch hitter. Now the Rockies have hit 14 of his last 65 pitches. That's a .215 batting average. So Zach Gallen is $10,700 FanDuel salary, same price on DraftKings, averaging 38 fantasy points per game on the season. He has an ERA of 2.97. Record is 6-2, pitching an average of 93 pitches per game. So I like Zach Gallen here versus the Colorado Rockies. Now, if you're looking to save a little bit of salary here, take a look at Kyle Gibson. He's got a nice matchup here versus a low-salary batting team, the Cleveland Guardians. And Kyle Gibson, he's only giving up a .558 OPS versus righties, facing 3 righties. And the Guardians have hit 20 of his last 68 pitches. So that is a .294 batting average, which is a little bit concerning. But he's only $8,900 FanDuel salary, and he's $1,400 less on DraftKings, averaging 28 fantasy points per game on the season. But he's been on fire the past couple of games, scoring 40 and 43 fantasy points. Record is 6-3, pitching an average of 91 pitches per game. So I like Kyle Gibson if you need to save a little bit of salary here versus the Cleveland Guardians. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher first base position. I like Alex Kirilloff with a 21% batting advantage versus a low salary pitcher, Brandon Bielak. When I first saw this name, I thought it was Alex Kirilloff, but it is Alex Kirilloff. I don't know if that's any better, but he's got a 29% batting advantage versus righty pitchers, batting a .825 OPS versus righties. And Brandon Bielak is giving up a .879 OPS versus lefties. So Alex Kirilloff is $2,900 FanDuel salary, $300 more on DraftKings, averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season, scored fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 games, and he has a batting average of .297. So I like Alex Kirilloff here versus Brandon Bielak. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And then we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. Probably one of my favorite plays on the slate. I like Ketel Marte with a 42% batting advantage here over a low-salary pitcher, Kyle Freeland. Ketel Marte batting 6% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .835 OPS versus lefties. Kyle Freeland pitching his worst ball versus switch hitters, 36% worse than his other pitches, giving up a 1.028 OPS versus switch hitters. Ketel Marte, he's 12 for 37 here versus Freeland. That's a 324 batting average, and he has a 1.027 OPS. He's only 3,000 FanDuel salary, 1,900 more on DraftKings, averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games, has a batting average of 282. So I like Ketel Marte here versus Kyle Freeland. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. Couple of third basemen that I like. If you're looking for a stud pick, take a look at Jose Ramirez. He's 12 for 33 here versus Kyle Gibson. That's a 364 batting average and a .984 OPS versus Gibson. 3,500 FanDuel salary, 1,700 more on DraftKings. Averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season, but I like this pick because of the matchup versus Kyle Gibson and the success that he's had throughout. So I like Jose Ramirez as a stud pick here versus Kyle Gibson. Now, if you're looking to save some salary, take a look at Jake Burger. He's got a 33% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Tyler Anderson. Jake Burger batting 19% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .971 OPS versus lefties. Tyler Anderson giving up a .836 OPS versus righties. Jake Burger is 1 for 2 here versus Anderson. Only 3,100 FanDuel salary and only 200 more on DraftKings. Averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. Has a batting average of 248. So I like Jake Burger here versus Tyler Anderson.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, let's take a look at the shortstop position. Here's a value play. I like Tim Anderson with a 51% batting advantage over that same low salary pitcher, Tyler Anderson. Tim Anderson batting 37% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .846 OPS versus lefties. Tyler Anderson giving up a .836 OPS versus righties. Tim Anderson is 1 for 3 here versus Tyler Anderson, and I like this pick because he's only 2,800 FanDuel salary, 1,900 more on DraftKings, averaging 8 fantasy points per game on the season, scored fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 games, has a batting average of 268. So I like Tyler Anderson here versus Tim Anderson. I like Tim Anderson here versus Tyler Anderson. I got my Andersons confused. Okay, moving on to the outfield position. So a stud pick, I do like Lourdes Gurriel Jr. once again. We picked him last night, scored 22 fantasy points. He's in a good matchup here versus Kyle Freeland. But if you are looking to save some salary here, take a look at Mike Yastrzemski. He's got a 61% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Johan Oviedo. Mike Yastrzemski batting a .858 OPS versus righties. Johan Oviedo pitching his worst ball versus lefty batters, giving up a .803 OPS versus lefties. And Mike Yastrzemski, he's 1 for 2 here versus Oviedo. He's 3,000 FanDuel salary, 700 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season, scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games, has a batting average of .265, so I like Mike Yastrzemski here versus Johan Oviedo.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this MLB slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.